Hey kombucha lovers! Today we're diving into one of the most common questions kombucha brewers ask. Why is my SCOBY growing so slow, or not growing at all? If you're struggling with a stubborn SCOBY that just won't thicken up, don't worry. We're going to break down the possible reasons why, and I'll share some tips to help your SCOBY grow big, healthy, and happy. Let's get started. First things first, let's quickly cover what a SCOBY is. SCOBY stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, and it's the living culture that ferments your sweet tea into kombucha. As it ferments, the SCOBY grows a new layer on top, eventually forming a thick jelly-like disc. But sometimes, that growth can be really slow, or it might not happen at all. So what's going on? Let's explore some reasons behind this. There are several factors that can affect how quickly your SCOBY grows. Here are some of the main culprits. 1. Temperature. SCOBYs thrive in warm environments, ideally between 75 degrees Fahrenheit and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius. If your room is too cold, the fermentation process slows down, which means slow or no growth for your SCOBY. If you're brewing in a cooler climate, consider using a heating mat designed for kombucha, or finding a warmer spot in your home, like the top of your fridge. 2. Tea quality. Your SCOBY needs the right nutrients to grow, and it gets those nutrients from the tea you brew. Black tea is typically the best choice because it provides the SCOBY with plenty of nutrients. If you're using herbal or flavored teas, or even low-quality tea, your SCOBY might not get what it needs to grow properly. 3. Sugar content. Just like the tea, sugar is an essential part of the kombucha brewing process. It's the food for the yeast and bacteria in your SCOBY. If you're not adding enough sugar, the fermentation process will be weak, leading to slow SCOBY growth. Make sure you're following your recipe and using the right amount of sugar, usually about 1 cup of sugar per gallon of tea. 4. Contamination. Another reason your SCOBY might not be growing could be due to contamination. If your brew gets contaminated by mold or other harmful bacteria, your SCOBY won't grow, and your kombucha might not ferment correctly. Always make sure your brewing equipment is thoroughly cleaned before starting a new batch. 5. Poor starter liquid. The starter liquid, or the kombucha from a previous batch, is essential because it lowers the pH of the brew and helps kickstart the fermentation process. If your starter liquid isn't acidic enough, or if you're not using enough of it, your SCOBY might struggle to grow. Make sure your starter is strong, preferably from a previous batch of kombucha that's already nice and tangy. 6. Wrong fermentation vessel. SCOBYs like to be in glass jars. Brewing in plastic or metal can slow down growth, or worse, it can introduce chemicals or reactions that harm your SCOBY. Always use a glass vessel for the best results. Now that we know what could be slowing down your SCOBY's growth, let's talk about what you can do to help it thrive. For best results, always try to optimize temperature. If your home is on the cooler side, try using a heating mat to keep your kombucha at a consistent temperature. Even a small shift can make a big difference in your SCOBY's growth. Use high-quality ingredients. Always use high-quality black tea and cane sugar for your brew. Your SCOBY will thank you for the nutrients, and you'll notice a difference in the thickness and health of your SCOBY. Keep it clean. Make sure all your equipment is clean before you start. This prevents contamination, which is one of the biggest threats to a healthy SCOBY. Be patient. Remember, SCOBY growth can take time, especially in the beginning stages. So don't be discouraged if you don't see rapid growth right away. Have you ever wondered if you could brew kombucha with coffee instead of tea? Then don't miss our next video where we will show you all about it. As long as you're providing the right environment, your SCOBY will eventually thrive. And there you have it. With the right conditions and a little patience, your SCOBY will grow strong and healthy, and you'll be brewing delicious kombucha in no time. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more kombucha brewing tips and tricks. Thanks for watching. Happy brewing!